you? My name is Karen. This is Recreational Knitting. Welcome to anyone that has newly found me. I hope that you find something here that you enjoy and that you'll stick around. Those of you that have been with me a while, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate each and every comment. I try to respond to all of them in a timely manner, but there for a while I got behind and it just kind of snowballed. Still trying to catch up from that. So I do read each one, and I do try to comment and leave a response for every message. So I really do appreciate it. I think it adds a lot to the channel when you leave a comment and you're responding to a question, or you give me an idea and we have a kind of a dialogue back and forth, and that way others can read those comments. So I appreciate it. Those of you that have supported this channel for a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it's been, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Those of you that have financially supported it through Ko-Fi or a super chat or whatever that's called on YouTube. Yeah, I got a couple of those in the last couple of weeks. It's been like, wow, where'd that come from? I don't think that I even knew that that was an option if you weren't going live. No idea. So thank you all for all of the support. I do appreciate it. There's a lot of knitting podcasts out there, and you could spend your time with any one of them. The cough that won't go away. Excuse me. So I appreciate you sticking with me and watching through some of my shenanigans. Yeah. Anyway, those of you that were here last week, or whenever it was I recorded last, know that I was having some difficulty with my thumb, arthritis, and I did get an injection on that. So there hasn't been a whole lot of knitting between that time and this time, but I do have a finished object, which is a new Ranunculus. This is knit in the Woolwarehouse brand Yarnsmiths DK Pebble Haze. Modifications for the Ranunculus. On this one, I did not do any short rows in the back or the front this time. And there's a reason behind that. Let's see, what else did I do? I added a couple more under the sleeve stitches to make it a little more airy. I actually was going to make this long sleeved, and then I had the yarn for it, but decided to make it short sleeved and being able to be worn more here in Florida. So yes, that's my finished object. Where's my goat? Hold that thought. Sorry, Barbara, I know you hate it. Anyway, the goat says, Yahoo! One off the needles. Always an accomplishment when you have 20-some works in progress. So I'm going to take it, and the goat is celebrating with me. So, yeah, the reason that I'm making all these ranunculi, is that what we call them, are, why am I making these? My local yarn shop, excuse me, I've got a mosquito bite. Mosquitoes have been horrible here in Florida this summer. It's crazy. And every time I take the dogs out and come back, I have at least 1 or 2 new bites. So, they go out about 6 times a day. So you do the math. Yeah, I look like I have some kind of disease on my legs. So yeah, sorry. Anyway, to get back to the Ranunculus, my local yarn store she sells yarn and more in Ormond Beach, Florida. Helen is the owner, and I love the vibe of the shop. It's a wonderful shop. She has lots and lots of goodies in there. and she does mostly natural fibers. She doesn't carry a lot of acrylics or acrylic blends, but I wanted to show people the different modifications that you can make with Ranunculus. And she asked me to do a class on that, and I'm going to be doing that in October, starting, I think it's the 2nd, maybe it's the 9th. I don't know, can't remember. It's on my calendar, but you know, getting old. Anyway, so one of the modifications that I have done is, well, it's not a modification, it's actually how the pattern is written. Short rows in front and back. So this is something that I've just tried this time. No short rows any place. But I did put some short rows in the rear in my ribbing. And basically that is to give it an even look in the back. I don't think I like that. I will continue to probably, if I do this sweater again, I will probably continue to do the short rows in the back. I may do it again in the front, we'll see. I have another one that I will be starting and using the, what is it called? That one of the designers cast on, it's the crochet cast on. And I'm gonna try that again and just show the difference or a lack of difference when you use a long tail or a German twisted cast on, and what it really looks like, and is it worth the effort. So I'll be showing all the modifications that I've done. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7 Ranunculus that I've either knit or am knitting, and I hope to start the 8th before this class starts, but I want to get a couple off the needles first. So yeah, I do like the pattern. It's enough of a dressier look that you can certainly you know, wear it somewhere nice. And this one is a little bit bigger. Remember I said I put extra, and I probably would not do that again. I put extra stitches underneath the sleeves, and that's what made it bigger. I would not do that again. But you know, these are experiments that you do when you are trying to do some modifications and figuring out what works best for you and that sweater. We've all learned from each garment that we've knit, probably, or I have, and I'm sure you have as well. I probably haven't learned as much because I keep doing dumb stuff over and over again. But yeah, I still enjoy this pattern, and it's dressy enough that you can get by, you know, putting it with, you know, a dress, particularly if it's a more cropped look. And you know, kind of get away with wearing it anywhere. So yeah, I have 3 more on the needles, and hopefully I'll get another one done this week if the thumb cooperates. But yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of knitting this week. Every time I would, it would aggravate it, so I kind of stayed away from that. I've worked on 2 other projects, another Ranunculus, and the only reason I worked on this was because it was in my face. It was easy to reach. Anybody ever do that? Sitting right beside my knitting chair over here, and I just picked it up and started. This is made with Noro Enka, which is a discontinued Noro. It's a stripe. It's mostly cotton and silk. I think it has 10% wool, not very much at all, but I did finish a sleeve this time. put in some, I knit straight for the sleeve. And there's a bit of a puck. Now, obviously I haven't blocked this yet. There's a bit of a pucker over here that I'm hoping will, do you see that? It's a bit of a pucker. So I'm not sure what I did. I picked up too many stitches, I'm not sure. But I knit straight for a bit and then started some decreases and then decreased a bit on the cuff. I was going to make this an I-cord, and then I thought, no, that's really not the look that I'm looking for this one. I wanted this to be a more wintry look. So it's a full-length sleeve. Whether you can see that. So yeah, that's the look that I'm looking for. And I did some yarn management and had to cut out, you know, a small ball, probably of that size, to start kind of in the same place over here, and then I'll finish the body. So I don't know where I was the last time I showed you. This is where the marker is. I don't know if I worked that much more. I just don't think I moved it. But I know I was here on the sleeve where Ruth Bader Ginsburg sits. And yeah, so let's hope that some blocking takes care of that little ripple in the back. But I really enjoy working with this yarn. It's too bad that it's discontinued, but you know, like most yarn companies, they rebrand their yarn, change it a little slight, you know, the content, the wool content, the silk content, cotton, and rebrand it. So I'm sure that there's another one out there that's very, very similar. So a little bit of progress. And then this is, and I'll put the name of the pattern here because, do I have it on me? I do not. This I've been working on probably more than anything this week, which really doesn't say a lot, but this is the vest. It is, yeah, I'm just not going to even try to remember. This again is made in Noro. I won a ball of this and then I had to go back online because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and I found another ball, and so now I'm making this vest. I have kind of matched up where I want the sleeve to be. Let me see if I can put this on over top. Ooh. Here we go. All right, not a very good look, but it'll come down more of a cap sleeve and no buttons, but this will be joined. I'll be sewing that. And yeah, that's what this is going to kind of look like at the end of the day. So I've kind of decided where I want the sleeves, where the opening will be. And yeah, so I've made, let's see if I got a marker on it. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Oh, I do have a marker. That's where I was the last time I showed you. So I've made, what, 3 inches of progress. And that's a fairly long, I don't know, I think it's I want to say 140 stitches now. I could be totally off. But yeah, I've made a little progress on that. Again, arthritis is not very fun. So those are what I've been working on this week. A finished object and 2 works in progress. Not bad for not knitting a whole lot. And the funny thing is, Luke is back in Massachusetts with his niece. who has recently moved houses and needed some help assembling some IKEA beds for her children. So he's up there, left on Thursday, and I've had this time, but you know, I could be knitting, but I'm not. So it is what it is. I'm hoping by tomorrow it'll feel a lot better. It is feeling better, but I don't want to aggravate it. So yeah. So I could have had all this time to knit, but of course I didn't. Life is that way, isn't it? Those of you that have noticed, I finally got my bins for my yarn. I have been trying to find reasonably priced, that was the key, and I ordered some a few months back. They sent me the wrong color and I just really got frustrated. I sent them back and I've been looking since, and finally I ordered these. These are supposed to be off-white. I wouldn't call them off-white, I'd call them beige. So I went and just, you know, put one together and said, oh, okay. After having them in a box for a week and just like being angry again, saying, why can't people follow directions? You know, I don't want this color. I asked for off-white. They sent me the wrong color. And then I finally decided, you know what? It's good. It's fine. It's not a problem. If I wanted a different color, I would have gotten a different color, you know, like a blue or a green or, you know, whatever. But yeah, so this is what we've got. For some reason, I thought I would have a better organization and I would have a little bit more room in these bins, but apparently that doesn't work that way. So anyway, yeah. So it's a little less confusing visually, which it was kind of driving me a little crazy. So I hope that those of you that have been putting up with the mess behind me are a little bit more pleased these days. Let's see, what else do I have? I will be putting out the hat, the One Skein September hat and scarf and oddities, for lack of a better word. Some patterns that you might be interested in looking at. I've already put one of the skeins away that you were voting on because it got like 6 votes, maybe. And that was the BFL. And the pink is up there, right there, the pink one. I think it's second place, and right behind me is the one that apparently is going to win overwhelmingly. So I've already got it caked up. One of you left a comment, said, just cake it up. It looks like it's gonna win. So I took your advice, I caked it up this week when I had my Swift out. And yeah. So that's my One Skein September project, likely, unless things change. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at the last real video that I have that you're voting on yarn. And that is a choice. The pink was a choice. And there was another choice that, unless there's a bazillion people that decided the BFL was going to work, it's already in one of these containers. So yes, so please, start thinking about your yarn choices, your pattern choices. Maybe you want to make a gift for, a special teacher, for a grandchild, any of it. But the last little video that I put out, I gave you some ideas for some patterns, and I picked patterns that are not very well known, because we all see the Sophie scarf, and we all see the Sophie shawl, and all of the things that come out on Ravelry, you know, that are very, very popular very quickly. And I tried to avoid most of those. However, I'm going to tell you, Musselburgh hat is on the next video, because if you haven't made it, you need to make it. And that's one skein. So, yeah. And it's a great gift. So, just fair warning, you know, that's a popular one that everybody knows about, and maybe or maybe hasn't made. I know somebody, one of the podcasters that I watch, I can't remember who it was now, said that they're on their 16th Musselburgh, which blows me out of the water, because I know it's a great pattern. It's just really a great pattern. However, that's a lot of Musselburghs. But obviously she has a lot of grandchildren or something, so they're not all like adult sizes. Okay, one skein September. Start digging around in your stash, come up with a, you know, Chelsea kind of look here, or whatever you want, bold, and start picking a pattern. And I will see you the next time. Look out for that next pattern idea video that's coming out probably tomorrow. All right, short and sweet today. I hope that all of you get some peace in your lives this week, and you get some real quality time for you. We don't do enough of it. So try to schedule it in this week for yourself. Take care, knit in peace.